Hello everyone, this is a video demo about how to create a demand curve from your marketing survey data that you have extracted from Qualtrics. So we're gonna need a couple documents. One of them is the raw data that you have extracted from Qualtrics that you have pasted in Excel or as a CSV file, and two, the demand curve demo Excel file that came with the tutorial for demand curve. Or you can just use an empty Excel sheet, and then you can do that from scratch, no big deal. So let's do that. First, we're gonna open the raw data. It's gonna look like this, and we have to identify where the columns that have the purchase intent for each of the prices. So I want to make this bigger so I can see what are the questions. I'm gonna do wrap text, and then I'm gonna make it a little bigger. And also, let me make this smaller so I can read the questions entirely. I have a big picture. And it looks like the questions that we need are here. It says, after reviewing our product concept, how interested would you be in purchasing the product if it was retailed at $80? And the same question with 90, 100, 110, and 120. So these are the data parts that we're going to need to use. I'm going to highlight them in a different colors, and then I'm going to go and copy those numbers. So I'm going to select this and go all the way down. Notice each row is a customer, and the customer got one of the 5 prices, random, and then the customer indicated their purchase intent 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, 5 being definitely purchase. So copy that, and then I'm gonna go to my other file, this one, and it does have a calc template empty. That's what I'm gonna use for my data, and then go here and then paste values. Here I'm going to put my prices. So the prices I have are 80, 90, 100, 110, and then 120. And here I'm going to put a formula that's going to give me the how many people said 1, meaning definitely not purchase for price 80. So that's all the ones in this column B. So I'm going to do count if. Let me make this bigger so you can see the formula. So here I'm going to do equals count if, and then go to column B, starting from row 3, and then shift control down. Notice I have to keep doing the arrow down a few times because some cells are empty. So I have to keep going until I get to the end of the sheet, and then come back arrow once up, arrow up just once, and then let me scroll up to finish my formula. So I selected comma count if is equal to 1. So click on I4 and then close parenthesis. Now before I continue, this would work for J4, but if I want to copy that formula to the right and then down, I have to put some $signs. So for the range, I'm gonna have to freeze the beginning and end rows. So $1 before the 3 in B3, $1 before the 315 in B315, and then for I4 I need to freeze the I, $1 before the letter I, and then enter. So now this formula should work if I copy to the right and then also down, and we're gonna check that. So if I go here, it's gonna count if B3 to B13 is I5, which is 2, that's what I want. And here, for example, is gonna count if, see, it went to the next column, C, and then 3. That's good. That's what I want. So that's correct. Sample size is how many people got price 80 who answered. So I'm gonna do count here. Count And again, I'm gonna do all here. Close parenthesis. It should be the same start and end of the row from 3 to 315. 3 to 315. Good. So 65. And then copy that here. And notice that they're not all gonna be exactly the same sample size, although we asked Qualtrics to randomize and to assign an equal number of prices randomly to different people, but the number of people who are gonna answer are not necessarily gonna be multiple of 5, and also some of them we're not going to be able to use because we're going to be dropping them. So these numbers of the sample size are not going to necessarily be the exact same number for each price. Now let's double check if this was correct. I will have the sum of those purchase intents for price 80 the same minus the sample size. This should be the same, so this the difference should be 0. And that's 0. This little dash means 0 in accounting formats. So that's correct. Good. So I'm done with the first part. Next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do sample size, segment size. My segment size is like going to be my population. And I'm going to need this later when I calculate the quantity sold. So I'm going to do what I know my segment size is, or I can link it to my segment size. In our example here is 1 million. Next step, I'm going to calculate my PB, which is probably by, as a percentage. So that's equal number of set PB for the price 80 over the sample size for 80. And then same thing for definitely by, number of definitely by over sample size for definitely by. And I'm going to copy these two and paste them to the right. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to multiply the purchase, the percentage PB for each price by 30%, 0.3, and definitely by, multiply that by 0.8. Then copy that, paste it for the other prices. And now I'm going to just do sum across this plus this all the way. Excellent. Now what I'm going to do for each price, I'm going to start with the highest price. The PI for that price is just the sum across, 0.3 times probably by plus 0.8 times definitely by. And for lower prices, it's going to be the sum of that for that price plus the previous cumulative PI, because if somebody is willing to buy at a price 120, for example, they're going to be also willing to buy it for the lower prices. So we're going to add them and then copy this formula all the way to the left, and that's going to be my cumulative PI per price. And now let's do quantity. Quantity is just that cumulative PI times my segment size. I'm going to freeze that function F4 or $, and then copy that to the right. And then revenue is the quantity times the price. So that's it for this part. Okay, now we're gonna do the demand curve. So let's do that. Let's copy the price and cumulative PI that we got here. So price here, I'm gonna copy those prices, and I don't want them to be in one row. I want them to be in one column. So I'm gonna go here and do paste special. So arrow under the paste special, and transpose, and just paste as values. Transpose, meaning it was in a row. Now I want it in a column. And then I'm gonna do the same thing for cumulative PI. Copy that, and then go here, paste special, values, and transpose. Don't forget to do values because we don't want formulas. Now we have our data for our demand curve. Now Next, we're gonna create our demand curve as a graph. So I'm gonna select these, and then I'm gonna go to insert, and then you see here charts, the scatter plot. Click on this, and this is our demand curve. I can play with the formatting. I can see here that my x-axis is are the prices, and I can start at 60 maybe instead of 0. So I'm going to select here, right click, select the x-axis values, right click, and do format axis, and instead of minimum bound, instead of 0 I can put 60. Let's see how it looks. This looks better. And if I wanted to do the same with y, I would do the same thing if I had to. I think this is good. I would do the same thing. Now I'm gonna do my trend line and the equation. So in order to do that, I have to select one of the dots, or all of them. If I click on one, it's gonna select all of them, and then right click and put add trend line, and then check linear, scroll down, and click on display equation on charts, and I can see here my equation. I can move it, I can make it bigger and different color and bolder so I can see it. I can move the title to the left. I can change the title. I can call this my demand curve. I want it. I could add axis titles. So this is, for example, this is the purchase intent. And this is the price. And then this is the trend line. I can change the format of it by selecting it, click on it, maybe make it red too, make it width wider, 2 points, and then I don't want it to be a dash, I want it to be a solid line. That's my line, that's my demand curve. All right, thank you.